Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Bean here, and today I'm coming at you with my May TBR, which if you have been around this year, I have probably mentioned that I'm doing kind of a weird thing with my TBR where the first 3 months I did my TBR game, which I know everybody enjoyed, and now I'm doing just basically random TBRs, kind of what I'm feeling like reading. So far it's not going well. I'm not even gonna lie, like I have not read a single book on my TBR as of yet. But let's try this again and see if I can do better this time, because I did choose a couple library books as well that I do actually need to read this month before they go back to the library. So let's start the TBR video now, basically, and let's start with the library books. Alright, the first book that I have from the library on my TBR is A Marvelous Light by Freya Marski. Honestly, I kind of saw this one all over BookTube and it intrigued me. It is a magical realism romance, from what I understand. It follows a baron named Robin Blythe who has taken over his parents' seat in the governing office of some sort and has been placed in charge of this magical community, basically liaisoning between his non-magical world and the magical world. And it seems like shenanigans are gonna happen. I don't know a lot about it, but that's about what I know about it, and that it's kind of a, not an enemies to lovers, but like a rivals to lovers almost, where his contact in the magical world absolutely hates him. So, and they end up being like a couple is my assumption, and I believe this is the first in a series. I'm not positive on that, but I think it is. But also, I really like this cover, and I'm doing a very poor job of explaining this book, but it seems like fun, and I've heard very good things about it. The next book is one that I picked up because of Polycon, which we are going to this year, and that is You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. I have read a short story by Alexis Daria, and I absolutely loved it. So I figured I'd pick up something else by her, and this is the first book in a duology, I believe. The second one is Sounds a Lot Like Adios. This is a book that includes a lot of Spanish phrases and such in it, so I am very excited to read it. I look forward to it. I don't know anything else about it. I assume it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but I don't know. I just assume most romances are Romeo and Juliet because that seems to be the thing. I don't know, and I don't like Romeo and Juliet, not gonna lie. But yeah, so we'll see. I'm intrigued by this one, and we'll see how it goes. And the last library book that I really do want to get to this month is Travelers Along the Way by Amina May Safi. This is a Robin Hood retelling, but it's all gender bent. So our main Robin Hood characters are two sisters. So I am very curious about this. I believe this is kind of like a Middle Eastern retelling version of this, so I'm very curious about it. Again, I've heard some very interesting things. I found this book actually on Book Riot. It was recommended, so I'm very curious about it. I'm always down for a solid Robin Hood retelling, and I've heard good things about this one, so I'm intrigued by it. Next book that I would like to read is the first book in a series, and that is All Systems Red, the first book in the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. This is a tiny little book that I just haven't picked up yet. I have it on my shelf, and I've had it for a while, but I keep stepping towards the camera. But I haven't read it yet. So this is definitely on my TBR to read. It won't take me long, and hopefully it'll get me into a brand new series, which will either be good or bad, because these books are surprisingly expensive as well, which makes me kind of sad, but we'll see. Another short book that I don't remember if I mentioned last month or not, but I would like to read Into the Pit, the first book in the Fazbear Frights Five Nights at Freddy's by Scott Cawthorn. I feel like I mentioned this one, but I don't remember if I did in the TBR or just in the haul. But I do want to actually kind of read some of these books. I heard good things, and there's like 12 of these now, so they must be some sort of good if there's that many of the books. Alright, also talking about starting a new series, I am going to try and read For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. The sequel to this book, something about the Queen, I don't remember. has been announced, and it is on NetGalley, and I haven't requested it yet, but I figure if I enjoyed this book, I will request it. It is a little bit longer. It is a Red Riding Hood retelling, and basically I believe it's about two sisters, one that is going to be queen, and the other one that has been sent off as a sacrifice to the wolves. So I am curious about this. Again, I found Red Riding Hood retellings to be hit and miss, so I'm very curious, but this one has gotten very, very good reviews, so see how this goes. All right, let's continue with continuing series that I would really like to finish. First, I'm being The Lost Plot by Genevieve Cogman. This is the fourth book in the Invisible Library series. I have started it twice. I've gotten halfway through it and I enjoyed it, and I'm not sure why I always have trouble getting about halfway through these books and then I binge it. For some reason, getting to that halfway point has been difficult for me in every single Invisible Library book I've read. But I find that I always enjoy the book immensely. So I'm going to have to start kind of figuring out what's going on there, and why it is that I have trouble getting through the first half of these books. So yes, I'm going to try and continue the series. I am wondering if I do need to restart it at some point, just because it's been like 3 years since I've read this series. But I have all of them now. All of them that are out, which I believe 5, 6, 7. There are 8 of them, and I just got the last one because I have a problem. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, these next two I'm really ashamed of, and I don't want to advertise it, but I need to catch up on Spy X Family, so I need to read Volume 6 and Volume 7 of Spy X Family. The show is out. I know we don't have Crunchyroll. Because since Crunchyroll has bought out Funimation, and we both have Funimation, we're trying to figure out if we need to buy Crunchyroll now, or if we can stick with Funimation and we'll get the same shows, and what's going on with that. Because I'd hate to get rid of Funimation only for Crunchyroll to be a thing. And if anybody knows, let me know, because I really haven't done a lot of research on this. I just haven't. Like, there's no reason. I just haven't. But yeah, so this is a super fun story. It follows, our main character is Twilight, who is a spy who is assigned to infiltrate a preparatory school. And in order to succeed in this, he needs to have a child and a wife. And so he manages to find one of each. The child he finds happens to be a psychic, and the wife he finds happens to also be an assassin. So they don't know each other's secret identities or their day jobs or any of that. And it's all about them struggling to figure out what a family is. And it is the cutest thing ever. This is comedy and action packed, and I love this series so much. So yes. And the last thing on my TBR for this month is actually a series, because I'm a masochist apparently. But I would like to reread The Library of the Unwritten and then read The Archive of the Forgotten, and then finish with The God of Lost Words, all by A.J. Hackwith. This is a full completed trilogy, and look how pretty these books are. They're just, I love the covers so much. And this series, well, I know the first one, follows The Library of the Unwritten, which is a section of hell where unfinished and unfinished books end up going. So books that authors have given up on all end up in here, and they basically start to animate themselves. And the goal of the librarian there is to prevent these books from animating themselves. And one of the book characters actually gets out and starts running around in the real world. And it is amazing. I think it was extremely well done, and I can't wait to actually reread this and then finish the series now that I have them, because this one just came out and I'm so excited. It's such a pretty book. But I haven't heard a lot about this third one, which makes me sad, but I'm going to try and read them, and I will try and do a reading vlog for them, and we'll see what happens. So, all 3 of them. Yes. I'm so excited. That's basically what I got for you here, is these ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books. So I've got about 12 books that I'm aiming to read this month. I have managed to read one already, not one of these, of course, because I hadn't done this yet. But I do plan on trying to read a bit more this month. It is a goal of mine to get my reading back up to where it was before, because it has gone down. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, now is the perfect time to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. We post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and the occasional Sunday. As far as this TBR goes, I reserve the right to change it, because it probably will change at least a little bit, but these are the books that right now I would love to pick up any number of them. So that's my goal. All right, so I hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep reading. Bye!